Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are on page 215 of your student journal, and we're actually going to be doing 3 lessons today. We're going to be doing Unit 8, Lesson 1, Unit 8, Lesson 2, and Unit 8, Lesson 3, because all 3 lessons have the same objective. So we're going to be going through quite a few problems today together. So our objective today in this video is today I will learn to use charts to help identify, and identify means to find, addition and subtraction patterns. And that's kind of a longer objective, so remember you can always pause the video if you need to. So today I will learn to use charts to help identify or find addition and subtraction patterns. And they're going to be giving us all of our charts that we need. What you're going to probably want to use today, in addition to your pencil, is like a light colored crayon, something that you can color in your charts with that is light enough where it doesn't hide the number that's behind it. So either a highlight or marker or a light colored crayon or a light colored marker would be a great idea for today's lesson. Okay, let's look at our vocabulary. Our first word is, what is a pattern? So it's a sequence of numbers that follow a rule. So they follow a rule. And then we have what does it mean? Addition means combining add-ins to find their sum. And then here's our most important vocab today, is reminding ourselves what an even number and an odd number is. So an even number is a number that represents a value that can be paired into sets of 2 with no leftover. So you probably did this when you were younger, maybe in 1st or 2nd grade, where we took these and we actually drew them. So if I don't draw anything, there's no pairs. But if I draw 2, 2 can go and there's a partner and there's no one left over. If I do 4, I can do 1 pair and 2 pairs. If I draw 6, I can do 1 pair, 2 pairs, and another pair, but there's no left over. So those are even. But when I look at odd, it's a number that represents a value that can be paired into sets of 2 with 1 left over. So there's always going to be 1 left over. So if I draw 1, there's just 1 left over. If I draw 3, there's 3 and there's a pair and then 1 left over. If I draw 5, there's 1 pair, 2 pairs, and 1 left over. If we draw 7, there's 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, and 1 left over. So we really need to know what even and odd mean today. That's going to be in most of our problems. Okay, we're not going to worry about the rest, so we're going to get started. Here is my first problem. My first problem says, what happens when 2 even numbers are added together? Use the addition table to help determine your answer. So any 2 even numbers, and this is an addition table where I can use my finger. So like 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So that's how I use this table. I find what I want and I find the other one and then I make my fingers match. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, so that's how I use the table, but that's not what they want me to do. They want me to add 2 even numbers and see what happens. So if I think, what are my even numbers? Well, my even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And down here, they would be the same, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So what happens when I add 2 even numbers? Well, let's see. If I add 2 and 2, I get 4. If I add 2 and 4, I get 6. If I add 2 and 6 here, I get 8. 2 and 8, I get 10. 2 and 10, I get 12. What happens if I add 2 and 4? 6, 2 and 6 is 8, 2 and 8 is 10, and I don't have to do all of them, so maybe I'll skip to some. What happens if I add 6 and 6? 12. 6 and 8 is 14. So I could keep going, but kind of look. When I added two even numbers together, look at my sums. Are you kind of seeing a pattern? All my sums were also even. So when I added two even numbers together, all my sums, which are my answers, also were even. Okay, let me try another one. Okay, this one says, what happens when two odd numbers are added together? What happens when two odd numbers are added together? Okay, so what are my odd numbers? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And on this side, it would be the same. So 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, so let's see what happens when I add two odds together. You might be surprised with this one. So when I add 1 and 1 together, I get 2. When I add 1 and 3, which are both odd, I get 4. 1 and 5, I get 6. 1 and 7, I get 8. And 1 and 9, I get 10. Oh, are you surprised by that? Okay, let's do these odds. 3 and 1, 4. 3 and 3 are both odd, I get 6. 3 and 5, I get 8. 3 and 7, I get 10. 3 and 9, I get 12. Are you starting to see a pattern there? Let's jump to maybe like 7. So let's do like 7 plus 5, I get 12. 7 plus 7, I get 14. Did that surprise anyone? Because when we added two even numbers together, we also got even, but now when we add two odds together, we also get a sum of an even number. The reason is because if we were to draw this one, let's draw what 5 plus 3 looks like. So 5 plus 3 equals, so when I do 5, it's an odd number because 1's left out. And when I do 3, it's an odd number because 1's left out. But when I add them, they each had 1 left out, that those two can become a pair. That's why two odds will always become an even. Okay, let's try some of these together. So we are on page 216. 216, and let's read our directions. Use the addition table to determine what happens when you add doubles plus one fact together. So example, 4 plus 4 plus 1. Okay, so the doubles are 4 plus 4, and then you add 1 to it. Okay, so 4 plus 4 is a double, and then adding 1. Well, 4 plus 4, let's find the double there. 4 plus 4 is 8, but they want us to add 1 to it. So 8 plus 1 would be 9 when I add 1 to that. Okay, so that's what this equals. This equals 9. Let's do our other doubles. So 2 plus 2 is 4, but then if we do 2 plus 2 plus 1, we get 5. Okay, let's do another double. 3 plus 3 is 6. So 3 plus 3 equals 6, but they want us to add 1 to it. So what do we get? 7. Oh, what are we seeing here? Okay, let's try another one. 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10, but they want us to add 1, so we get 11. So what pattern are we seeing? We had a 9 when we did 4s. When we did 2s, we had 5. When we did 3s, we had 7. And when we did 5s, we had 11. So all of our sums, or all of our answers, were odd. So I would say that when we add doubles plus 1, your sums are always going to be odd. Okay, let's try another one. We're on page 217. What happens when two doubles are added together? Just when two doubles are added together. This time they don't want us to add 1. It just says 2 plus 2, or 3 plus 3, or 4 plus 4. Okay, so let's do two doubles. So 1 plus 1 is a double. We get 2. 2 plus 2 is a double. 3 plus 3 is a double. 4 plus 4 is a double. 5 plus 5 is a double. 6 plus 6 is a double. And we could keep going, but what do you think the pattern is then? So when you add doubles, your sum is always going to be, hopefully you see it's going to be even. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I want you to try to do the next two problems on your own after. You could pause the video and try it right now, okay? But try to do these two on your own and see, will your sums be even or odd? Okay, we're going to now turn to lesson 2. And our chart's going to be a little bit different. This time we're going to use something called a hundreds chart. So when we look for patterns, we're still looking for patterns, but we're going to be using a different type of chart. So instead of an addition chart, we're going to be using a hundreds chart. So I'm going to show you a couple of these before we do some together. So here is my first one. And it says, use the hundreds chart to determine what happens when you skip count by tens, starting at 10. So skip count means I'm just going to count by tens. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. So if I skip count by tens, all of my numbers are going to have a 0 in the ones place. And in the tens place, I could say they all go up by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a pattern that I could see. But it's mainly that they're all going to have a 0 in the ones place. Okay, I'm going to try another one, still using a hundreds chart. This question says, use the hundreds chart to identify the pattern and determine what 3 numbers come next. Okay, so my first number is 17. So I'm going to actually find it here. So my first number is 17. My next number is 24. Oops, I broke my crayon. That's 24. And my next number is 31. And they want to know what comes next. Okay, so what I could do is, it looks like they're getting larger each time, so I know these 3 are going to be larger, but what's happening? What actually happened to add this? So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that one I moved up, I added 7. Let's see if it happens again here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. So it seems like I move 7 each time. So let's move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my next one, I believe, is going to be 38. Oops, I'm doing this in the wrong color, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. 38. Let's move up 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. Gets me to 45. And let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gets me to 52. So my rule is each time I added 7, so I could say plus 7 or add 7, but that was my rule there. Okay, we're going to try some of these together as well. So the first one we are doing is on page 222. So 222. And it says, use the hundreds chart to determine what happens when you skip count by 5s starting at 5. Okay, so if we skip count by 5 starting at 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And we could keep going, but I think that's enough. So what pattern do we see? Well, I think what we see is the ones place either ends in a 5 or it ends in a 0. And it goes 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0. That's the pattern that I see. Okay, let's try 223 together. Okay, this is the one where we're going to find the numbers again. So it says, use the 100s chart to identify the pattern and determine what 3 numbers come next. Okay, so they gave us 23, they gave us 34, and they gave us 45. Ooh, this one is a little different because it looks like it's going to go that way. So let's see how many we moved up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Somehow, oh, because Miss Munoz made a mistake from there. So from 30 to 31, we had to move 1. So let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then to go from 30 to 31 is 8, 9, 10, 11. So we moved up 11 to get to 34. Let's see if that happened here again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 again. Okay, so that looks like our rule is going to be plus 11. So let's move 11 to get to our next number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ends up right there, which would give us 56. And it looks like we could probably just know that we're also moving in a diagonal. So I bet our next one is 67 and 78. And we could check that by moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It worked out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So nice diagonal, plus we were able to count 11 each time. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pause the video and you have 2 problems to try on your own before you continue the video and we do the last lesson together. Okay, the last lesson is we are going to still be working on our hundreds chart. So here was the hundreds chart and we're going to be continuing working on that. So here is my first problem. And it says, what number comes next in the pattern? So I have 14, 24, 34, and 44. So I could color those in. So I have 14, 24, 34, and I also had 44. Oh, I bet I can see what the pattern's going to be pretty easy on this one. It looks like instead of a diagonal line, I'm going to have a vertical line. So I can see that my next one's going to be 54, 64, 64 and 74. So my rule is on this one, add 10. So this one I didn't really have to do much on because it was fairly easy for me to see the pattern. Okay, let's look at my next one. When subtracting 99, take away 42, should your answer be odd or even? Explain your reasoning. Well, I don't need my hundreds chart for that, but let's think about this. 99 is odd, and if I take away 42, which is an even, what do I think? Well, there's a few ways I could do this. I could just try some smaller numbers. So I might take away a smaller odd, 7, take away a smaller even. So 7's odd too, and 4's even. What would I get? 3? Let me try another odd and even. What if I had 5, take away 2? I get 3. What if I had the odd number 11, take away an even number of 4? So 11 is odd and 4 is even. So 11 take away 4 is 7. Ooh, I could even try another one. What if I had the odd number of 15 and I take away an even number of 2? So 15 what do I see with the pattern with all my answers? So all my answers are odd. So my reasoning could be that I tried other numbers to find a pattern. Okay, let's try some of these together. Okay, we are on page 229, and here's our first one. 87, 82, 77, 72. Okay, so you're going to want to turn back to use the page to help you. 87 is here. And then we go from 87 to 82. And then we go to 77 and 72. But that's the order we went. So notice we're going backwards here because we started here and we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards, which would mean it sounds like take away 5. Let's try this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards. So it looks like 5 backwards is going to be our pattern, so, which would be subtract 5. And how many more do we need to do? 3. So let's do 5 backwards 3 more times and see what we come up with. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and it looks like it's going to stay in those lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes 67, 62, 57. So 67, 62, and 57. Okay, let's look at our last one together. When adding 42 and 35, should your answer be odd or even? Okay, so, well, we can try it. So I would say let's just try it. 34 plus 45 is 77. Okay, and 42 is even, and 35 is odd. So let's try some other easier, shorter even and odd. So even would be 2 plus 3 equals 5. What if we did 4 plus 5? We would get 9. Maybe try another even and odd. So we could do 10 is even plus 7 is odd. So look at all of our answers. So all of our answers are odd, so we could say that we used other examples to help us find the pattern. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you have quite a few pages to try on your own. Have a wonderful day.